Poe's Law is an internet adage coined in 2005 after its creator Nathan Poe. Poe's Law reads, "Without a winking smiley or other blatant display of humor, it is impossible to create a parody of fundamentalism that someone won't mistake for the real thing."
While not an entirely original idea of Poe's, it is the most referenced during fundamentalist debates. Predecessors to Poe include Jerry Schwartz, who posted on Usenet in 1983, "Avoid sarcasm and facetious remarks. Without the voice inflection and body language of personal communication, these are easily misinterpreted. A sideways smile has become widely accepted on the net as an indication that I'm only kidding." He continues to say, if you submit a satiric item without this symbol, no matter how obvious the satire is to you, do not be surprised if people take it seriously.
Poe's Law, which originally stated as a comment in discussion about creationism on ChristianForums.com, has become increasingly popular since its conception. It is the basis for several internet memes and is referenced during discussion where one participant believed to be a fundamentalist is branded a Poe.
The concept behind Poe's Law explains the popularity of current news shows such as The Colbert Report and The Daily Show, which aim to report top news stories with a satirical twist on events. These shows deliver the news with a more blatantly satirical tone, often smiling, laughing, and joking with fellow reporters, and their messages, while mocking fundamentalism, typically aren't misinterpreted as fact. Here Colbert briefly talks about the Church of Scientology, and Stewart mocks Israel's presentation at the UN.
Normally, I don't trust other religions, but I started to feel a connection to Scientology when I saw that they were able to afford an ad in this past Sunday's Super Bowl. Is there actual evidence of this abuse? Are there any documented cases?
I've had 12 people tell me they've been beaten by David Miscavige and more than 20 witnesses.
12?
12 people.
Wow, if I found out the Catholic Church had abused 12 people, I would get out of there.
This is a bomb.
What's with the Wile E. Coyote nuclear bomb? You gonna pretend that you don't know what a nuclear bomb looks like? You're Israel. Run downstairs and look in the basement.
Divergently, consumers have The Onion, a group that mostly acknowledge as satirical mocking of a wide range of fundamentalist views, but some confused for real news. As opposed to the Colbert Report, The Onion delivers their news with the same stoic demeanor as mainstream news stations and does nothing to hint at the satire in the stories except for the outrageous stories themselves. Here is just an example.
In tech news, Apple has responded to continued frustration with its iPhone Maps application, announcing plans to realign the Earth's geography to more accurately reflect the map software. Company executives say they've already started renaming streets, switching the locations of buildings and destroying some landmarks altogether to be consistent with the heavily criticized Apple Map feature. CEO Tim Cook maintains that Apple's innovation marches forward. Quote, "Apple is committed to providing the best user experience possible, which is why we are working to dismantle the Brooklyn Bridge and put London in Canada."
While observers who recognize the satire find The Onion amusing, it is even more amusing when other news stations take The Onion's news at face value and redistribute the news, which is exactly what happened in September 2012 when the Iranian Fars News Agency ran an Onion story about President Obama. Again, just a few months later, in December 2012, the Chinese People's Daily picked up an Onion story and ran it as fact.
North Korea's leader has at least 4 official titles, each one grander than the last. But it appears he now has a new accolade. Thanks to the official newspaper of China's Communist Party, he is the sexiest man alive. China People's Daily Online is quoting a US website that talks of Kim Jong-un's unmistakable cute cuddly side, his impeccable fashion sense, his chic short hairstyle and that famous smile. Unfortunately, the US source quoted is in fact the satirical website The Onion. The satire did appear to be lost on People's Daily as they ran a 55-page photo spread on Kim Jong-un and directly quoting The Onion article said, "With his devastatingly handsome round face, his boyish charm and his strong sturdy frame, this Pyongyang-born heartthrob is every woman's dream come true."
Similarly, in February 2012, Republican Representative John Fleming posted a link to The Onion's news article, "Planned Parenthood opens $8 billion abortion plex," on his Facebook page with the comment, More on Planned Parenthood, abortion by the wholesale. After being informed that The Onion isn't real news, the post was quickly removed from his page and no further comment was made, but not before hundreds of users captured screenshots and the story went viral.
However, despite Poe's law's popularity, it isn't universally well received. When the term was first coined, users attempted to make a Wikipedia page to explain the law, but it was removed twice, being reinstated in 2011. One user in opposition of the page called it a stealth vanity page. This, however, pales in comparison to the response received from Conservapedia.
Conservapedia's article on Poe's law states, Poe's law is primarily directed towards conservative Christianity, which is well supported by evidence. In short, like many liberal satires, it is merely an attempt to gloss over inconvenient evidence and their own illogical thinking. The article goes on to state, the atheist and evolutionist Richard Dawkins has shown inconsistent and deceptive behavior concerning his refusal to debate creation scientists, while explaining Poe's law's origins in the debate over creationism versus evolution. Ideas such as these influenced the July 2008 article on thechristianscribbler.com, which detailed the release of a YouTube video by an unaffiliated user that left many wondering if the video was mocking fundamentalist Darwinists or religious viewers.
For that, we present this little ditty.
Hello? Is this on? Can I get some more hydrogen in my test tube, please? My name is D to the I to the C to the K. Yeah, I'm the Dickie D. I got my PhD. And coming your way on the YouTube to bust your worldview. So just listen to me and don't you argue. You see, this battle's been raging since Zeus was on the bottle. Between science like Democritus and faith like Aristotle, who said the mover wasn't moving like some magic trick. But that's not good logic, my posse's far too quick for this religious shtick. Cause science is the only way to know y'all. You stand with me, y'all, or you can fall, y'all. So go ahead and take your pick.
Yeah, you tell him, Rick.
Cause if you don't know me, you don't know Dick. Yeah, he's the dick to the dog to the PhD. He's smarter than you, he's got a science degree.
Only after letting the debate continue for almost a month did the user post a second video explaining their belief in intelligent design, and leaving many involved in the debate with a shining example of Poe's law.